And then finally, member nations of the Bolivarian Alliance for the Peoples of Our America, the People's Trade Treaty, unanimously condemned the recent US military deployments in Latin America and the Caribbean, deeming them illegal and a threat to regional stability. After the escalation of narco-state accusations against Caracas, the US deployed approximately 4,000 troops to the southern Caribbean Sea near the edge of Venezuela's territorial waters, claiming to conduct an anti-narcotics operation. I have a quote here. Cuba strongly denounces this latest display of imperial force and calls on ALBA-TCP and from here on all the peoples of the world to condemn this irrational attack by the Trump administration. That is from the Cuban President Miguel Díaz-Canel at the extraordinary summit on Wednesday. The declaration from the summit stated that the US is engaged in political persecution, military threats and economic blockades against Venezuela and Cuba, violating international law and destabilizing the region. It reaffirmed ALBA-TCP's anti-imperialist position, calling for regional unity, a rejection of foreign intervention, and the defense of Latin America and the Caribbean as a zone of peace. Let's hear what Nicolas Maduro, president of Venezuela, had to say.
Este es un tema de la paz, del derecho internacional, de América Latina y el Caribe. Porque quien agrede a uno en América Latina, agrede a todos. Quien amenaza a uno, amenaza a todos los países.
We're now joined by Mati Zaweg, who's a geopolitical expert, and he joins us live from Israel. Mati, thank you very much for joining us to discuss this topic. Escalating tensions and claims from either country. How do you analyze this situation?
Well, this is a very special time, really, because for years, all the government has said that the developments of the Venezuelan dictature is leading to a lot of destabilization. If we are talking about helping international terrorism, if we are talking about drug smuggling, weapon smuggling, fake documents for dozens of thousands to help terrorists and narcos in the world. So now Venezuela's Maduro president is talking about that the US is trying to destabilize the region. From the other side, we have to recognize that in Latin America, there is a big ghost. And this ghost comes from the 70s, that the United States was trying to impose their will, putting all kinds of far-right dictatures, and that they are really, everyone is remembering them until today. So they wouldn't like, even the moderates and even the pro-US, they wouldn't like US soldiers to try to conquer by force and to make a regime change in Venezuela or in any other country. So this is the big dilemma. But they are accused of being a narco state. You know, the vice president of Venezuela is himself the head of a narco international group. They are also trying to push them back to Venezuela from all kinds of illegal immigrants, that they are part of the Grupo de los Soles, that they are the biggest group involved in narco trafficking. So everyone is right here, but you cannot undermine the sovereign country and try to conquer them. From the other side, if you have a country that is doing what Venezuela is doing, it's to do international drug trafficking in a big scale, having dozens of thousands of fake documents, smuggling weapons, helping all the bad guys in the world. Would you like a neighbor like this? Neither does the US, and especially with this new administration, they are trying to make some movements inside, but the army is really strongly with Maduro because they are helping him to do all this international drug trafficking. So everybody's trapped in this. Even Colombia's President Petro said that if America is going to destabilize the region, millions are going to flee to him. Millions already flew to Colombia from Venezuela, escaping the dictature of Maduro. So something is going to move there. But I must say only one more thing. In the same time that Trump is threatening Venezuela with these troops in the South Caribbean, at the same time, he renewed a contract for Chevron to continue pouring the oil in all the places in Venezuela. So what is this going to expect? That they are going to throw these guys, they are going to close Chevron for their activities in Venezuela. So something, it must be treated under the table that they will get an accord from in some way.
Mati Zaweg, thank you very much for giving your insight on that topic and for taking the time to join us on the programme. Well, that is all that we have time for this hour, but we will continue to bring you more news updates from around the world. Thank you for joining us.